It's the final day of reviewing all the fragrances currently in the AFNAN Supremacy range, and today you get two for the price of one, because I'm going to be talking about Supremacy Silver and seeing how it stacks up to this one called Supremacy Not Only Intense, which are both clones of the same niche fragrance. But to find out more and which one of these I'd recommend the most, stay tuned to Mag's Frags. Yes, hello again everybody, and thank you very much once again for tuning into this latest episode of Mag's Frags, where it's the fragrance that's the star of the show. My name's Paul, and today's featured fragrance is Supremacy Silver, which is one of the OGs of the Supremacy line and came out in 2013 alongside the Gold. But then this came out in 2021 called Not Only Intense, which it claims to be a more intense and longer lasting version of the Supremacy Silver. I've already done a full review of this one in my 365 project, so feel free to also go and check that one out, but today's more of a comparison video between these two. They both come in at a 100ml bottle size. The silver is an eau de parfum concentration, and the Not Only Intense is an extrait de parfum, which is a higher concentration of fragrance oil of these two. They're both available on the Notina website, with the Supremacy Silver coming in at £34.50 and the Not Only Intense just a little bit pricier at £42.90. Yes, we're into the presentation, and the box on the Supremacy Silver is the older style standard cardboard design with a Supremacy embossed emblem on the front, and it's finished in a metallic silver. The Not Only Intense is part of a new luxury collection, so you get the full works with like an outer sleeve covering a really high gloss piano black plastic presentation box, which I've got to say absolutely blows me away every time I handle it. The presentation is off the charts for a fragrance at under 50 quid, but I'd say even this older style box is really decent, and it's as good as what you're going to get on with any designer fragrance on the high street. But yeah, the comparison between these two is pretty spectacular. There's much less of a difference in the bottle design, and both of these look really good, and they're really good looking bottles, and it's a toss up between which one I think is better looking, but maybe again I'd slightly lean towards the Not Only Intense with the black to chrome gradient and a little splash of red branding on the front. Every bottle in this range looks really smart though, especially when you've got them all lined up together, and considering that you can own every single bottle in this collection for less than just a couple of £100, I think that that's really good value for the really high quality presentation that you get, and also more importantly the high quality of the juice that you also get in all of these fragrances. Yes, so into the note breakdown, and both of these open up with top notes of pineapple, blackcurrant, bergamot and apple. In the heart of the fragrance there's birch, patchouli, jasmine and rose, and the base notes in these are musk, oak moss, ambergris and vanilla. Okay, so both of these are copies of Creed Aventus, and if by a very slim chance that you're watching this and don't know what Creed Aventus smells like because you may be new to fragrances, or you've been living on the moon for the past 10 years, then it's basically a mix of three different elements, which are fruity notes, mainly pineapple, then there's lots of woodiness and lots of smokiness. But there's been many reformulations over the years, and depending on which batch you buy, the prominence of these elements can shift, so some are more fruity while some are more woody and others are slightly more smoky. I personally prefer the fruitier batches, and that's basically what you get with both of these two. Despite what I've watched online and read in comments on forums about the silver having more fruity and like a more enjoyable opening, I don't get that at all, and I personally can't tell any difference in the first 10 minutes of these two whatsoever. And when I first bought the Not Only Intense, I thought I'd wasted my money. But after about 10 minutes you can start to tell the difference, and the quality of the Not Only Intense starts to shine through, and the blend quality and depth is very noticeable when you've got them side by side. I tested them both on skin as well as on tester strips, and I've just got the same results each time. After about the hour mark, it's night and day in terms of quality, and the silver seems to just die in comparison to the Not Only Intense. I don't really get much of the woodiness or the smokiness in the silver, and after the initial blast of fruity pineapple, it gives you that Aventus vibe. It seems to just fade fairly quickly. The Not Only Intense brings a much more woody dry down and stays around on skin for a couple of hours at least longer, but it lacks the Aventus smokiness, which is actually something that's quite good for me because I'm not the biggest fan of smoky scents. Yet it's no secret that Creed Aventus is an extremely versatile fragrance that you can wear all year round and for any occasion, so both of these fall into that same category. However, I think the silver is slightly lighter, so maybe more suitable to wear during the day as maybe a work scent, or just to wear casually as you're going about your daily business. The Not Only Intense is better suited to wear maybe in the evenings or as a clubbing fragrance, because it's definitely got a bit more punch to it and it just sticks around for a lot longer, which takes me nicely into the next section, which is the longevity and projection. Yeah, the name Not Only Intense isn't just a cheap marketing gimmick, and these are definitely not the same fragrance in a different bottle. There really is a noticeable difference in the blend quality and the performance in these two. I'd say the silver starts out well, and you get an instant blast of that unmistakable fruity Aventus scent DNA, but it does seem to die away fairly quickly, and I think I'd be being generous if I said that I got 2 hours of really solid projection out of it. After maybe 4 hours it's hardly detectable, which is in stark contrast to the Not Only Intense, where you could pretty much double those stats with this one. I did get a bit carried away with myself when I reviewed this in my 365 review, and I think I made it out to be even better than the original Aventus, which it's not. However, I do think it's my favourite Aventus clone that I've ever sampled though, and definitely one that you should try out if you are a fan of the Creed Aventus fragrance and you want something very similar. The Supremacy Not Only Intense costs £8 more than the Supremacy Silver, and with such a small difference in price, it's kind of impossible for me to make a case and to come up with any reason why you should consider the Silver over the Not Only Intense. This has better presentation, better quality juice, and it lasts longer. My only issue with both of these though is that the Aventus scent DNA, in my opinion, has become cheapened just by the sheer amount of clones that are out there, so you just smell it everywhere these days, and whenever I smell it I just think to myself, there goes another Aventus clone. It is a really nice smelling fragrance on the whole, but it's just become the new fake Gucci belt that you pick up from a market stall, or the fake Rolex from the Lucky Man on the beach in Turkey. Also, it seems to be one that kind of men enjoy more than women, so maybe not the fragrance to woo that girl that you've had your eyes on for the past few weeks. But overall, it is a really nice smelling fragrance, is Aventus. I think it's just been a bit of a victim of its own success. Yes, so once again, that's about it for this review, and also this mini-series that's covered the whole AFNAN Supremacy line. I am going to do a final encore with one more episode where I give my final verdict on all of these fragrances that I've featured, and I'll let you know which smells the best and the worst, and which performs the best. And so don't forget to keep your eyes peeled for that one, it'll be coming very soon. Also, if you've enjoyed the content and found the video useful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to the channel. The channel is now growing slowly but surely, and people are getting more and more on board and starting to watch the videos for longer, so thank you for your continued support. And it's also great to read all your comments about your own personal opinions and your experiences with all of these fragrances that feature in these videos. So let me know what you think about these AFNAN fragrances down in the comments if you've managed to get your nose on any of them. So until next time, thank you very much once again for tuning in. Stay safe, keep smelling fresh, and I'll see you very soon for another one. Bye bye for now.